Yesterday, we broke down a New York Times investigation into a way that the Trump campaign had stolen literally dozens and dozens and dozens of millions of dollars from their followers by opting them into recurring donations and making it very difficult to know that that was even happening. And we're not talking about just $27. No, we're talking about thousands of dollars being stolen over just a 1-month period from people who loved and supported Donald Trump. Well, now he has responded to these allegations, and obviously this is a serious story. So the president must be taking it very seriously, or maybe not, because this is what he had to say. In yet another highly partisan story, the failing New York Times. What does it have to do with anything that they're failing? That doesn't have anything to do with the research anyway. Just wrote a completely misleading one-sided attack piece this weekend that tried to disparage our record-setting grassroots fundraising operation during the 2020 campaign. Except for massive voter fraud, this was a campaign that was easily won by your favorite Republican president, me, in case you weren't sure who that was. But anyway, to the specific allegations in the story of making people give a bunch of money that they then had to refund over $100 million. He says, in fact, many people were so enthusiastic that they gave over and over. And in certain cases where they would give too much, we would promptly refund their contributions. No, that's not a response to any of this. They didn't give too much, like they were too generous or they were so enthusiastic. It's literally, Ida, over $100 million of them saying, please give me my money back. You have bankrupted me. I'm retired. I can barely pay my rent. Some of these people were vets or like paying off their cancer treatment. Some had to cancel their credit cards to stop money from being robbed from them. And this is the response they get. Oh, they're great. So enthusiastic. They love being conned more than anyone else in America. Oh God, it's so insulting, Ida. So insulting to these people who support him so much.
Yeah, but that's the game, right? That's the game. And we've been watching the celebrity worship with Donald Trump unfold since before he was president of the United States, and people find him aspirational and they want to identify with him because they too can do what he's done without knowing what he's done because he really didn't do much. But these are the consequences of the choices that you make. And it's sad to hear that people are struggling because they have cancer or they have these issues. But I have to analyze the situation, and not speaking specifically to those people, but all of those people is, you supported Donald Trump because a lot of you who supported Donald Trump because you hate immigrants, you have a problem with Black Lives Matter, you're homophobic, you got a problem with trans people, you don't respect humanity on certain levels. It is only the only people that you respect and whose lives you value are the ones who look and sound like you. And these are the consequences of supporting someone when racism and xenophobia and all of the phobias are not a deal breaker for you. You end up getting conned by someone like Donald Trump. And there you are. These are the consequences.
Yeah, even if like when we were doing the story yesterday about like individuals being robbed of like $8,000, calling him a bandit, like I feel really bad. There's a little tinge of like, but you've known he's a con man for years. It's not like these stories haven't come out with Trump University and all this stuff. Like he robs people, but okay, still. Then this story comes out.
I mean,
exactly, it has to be so close to home.
Yeah, and that's the problem with America right now is that people don't care about others. There's no empathy. I mean, I would say it's a global issue. They don't care about other people. Only when it hits home to you, when those white women started getting hit by the cops and they started shooting those rubber bullets. And when they saw that the cops were like, we don't care about you either, then they were like, oh snap, this is a real problem. They were even coming for me. And it shouldn't have to take that. You shouldn't have to have a daughter to care about pedophilia. You shouldn't have to have a wife to care about sexual assault. So this is what happens when you don't care about other people, you have an attitude, and you don't see those babies that died at the border as human beings, then don't ask for people to see your humanity when it's your turn.
Yeah. You're 100% right. You should be able to have empathy for people who are not like you because they're still people, no matter how different they might seem on the surface. But look, The fact that they responded, I felt like we had to cover it regardless because we covered the story, so he's responding. But then I saw the replies to his message. I thought this was such a huge instance of conning that maybe it would break through. And maybe for the individuals who are affected, as I was saying, maybe it did. But like the first replies are from like Janine Gallagher, the best is yet to come. Or Eduardo says, great, with American flags. On Twitter, no, he's a con man. And he cares so little about his fans. He has so little respect for them that his official response to an expose showing that they robbed, I mean, we don't even know how much they robbed. They had to refund $122 million. God only knows how much they took that the people didn't notice. Is the best is yet to come. Yay, Trump. How can you not have more respect for yourself? I get it. There are politicians you like. There are politicians I like. You know, right now in the studio, we have politicians who come in sometimes. A great fan from Guam sent me a box of Chamorro chip cookies. But like if we had Bernie over, and as Bernie leaves, I see that he's got my box of cookies in his arms, I'm gonna have a problem with him. Because if someone robs you, it should bother you on some level. And he robbed thousands of dollars worth of Chamorro chip cookies, but they just don't, they can't see it. They can't see it and they can't care. They can't care about themselves. No, Bernie, don't take my cookies. That's the message I have for you today.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.